Good morning. We are into the final stretch of today's Small Business Remote Expo. Next up is our keynote conversation with BACP Commissioner Ken Meyer and Chef Ambroco Gonzalez. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning. Still good morning.
It's still morning.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready, Stella?
Yes, we are. Chef, you're still muted. We need you to unmute.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Ken, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. I'm Ken Meyer. I'm the Commissioner for the Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. And part of this remote expo is our keynote address, a conversation with a Chicago business success story. With us today is Chef Ambrosio Gonzalez of La Catteria Cafe and Restaurant in Little Village. Chef, I might have botched the restaurant name. Can you tell us how you prefer the name to be said, please?
It's La Catedral Cafe.
So much better than me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Chef Gonzalez began his culinary journey at a young age. At 16, he moved to Chicago from Mexico and ventured into entrepreneurship, which we'll get into his life story today. In 2011, Chef Gonzalez and his business partner opened La Cathedral Cafe and Restaurant in Little Village, as soon as a stream of several other successful restaurants followed. A graduate of the renowned French culinary institution Le Cordon Bleu, Chef Gonzalez has had recipes featured in prominent magazines, and in fact has even published his own book. His journey exemplifies resilience and unwavering dedication to the culinary arts. We thank you for being here to share your story, Chef.
Thank you, Commissioner Mayor, for inviting me. I'm excited. My name is Ambrosio Gonzalez. I'm the owner of La Catedral Cafe on Little Village, and I'm so happy to be here to share my story with all of you guys.
Thank you. And before we talk business, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. And actually even had a special guest swing by this morning, which you can tell our guests about as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, I'm from Mexico. I got to Chicago when I was 16. And then where the story begins, I started working in many jobs. There were so many that I can't even name all of them. There were a lot of them. And the cooking part, it was always on my life because my family, they've been selling everything on fairs and outside churches and tianguis, they are calling it flea markets. So I'm always been excited about being a business owner. And I started doing so many jobs here that always my dream was to have my own business. And then after working in a factory, cleaning offices, doing so many jobs, then I started working as a server in a restaurant. And then when my dream started, is like, this is my best job being a server. I want to have my own restaurant. And that was 14 years ago. And I make it happen. And now we're here. We're flying out the door every day. And I'm here to tell you guys that dreams come true. So you just have to work hard to make it happen.
That's great. And I think this is interesting. So when you were younger, before you even got into the restaurant business, it sounds like when you first moved to Chicago, you were really hustling, right? You were holding a couple of different types of jobs, and also going to school. When did you find time to even sleep? Like, what was your typical day back then?
Well, my typical day was starting at 6 a.m. and finishing at 1 or 2 a.m. Because at one time I had 3 jobs, and it was hard, but it was exciting because I knew what was my goal. And I was working in a factory from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then I start the second shift in the same factory 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then after that, I have to clean offices. And I don't know, however time I need to make sure that all the offices were clean. And sometimes it took me only a couple hours, sometimes 5-6 hours. Many times I had to sleep on the car just to be ready for my other job, because my goal was to save enough money to have my own businesses. And it was excited. It was excited because it was on my plan. It was I knew that I wanted to have my own business, and I was gonna make it happen one way or the other. And I always have my lunch bag with a few containers, and I put it on the microwave and eat in the car, eat on the park. The summer was always my best time of the year, because I was able to get in the park and enjoy everything for 30 minutes and having my lunch there. So it was excited. I did enjoy it. It was a lot of work, but I did enjoy it. I think when you're doing things that, to make your dreams or your goal happen, the ride is fun.
And I bet all those when you're working 3 jobs, working those incredible hours, I bet in some way they also even prepared you for your entrepreneurship and business owner in the restaurant industry, because I know today you still work many, many long hours and many days a week. So I'm sure that was just kind of good, this kind of training into your soul of who you are.
Yeah, definitely. Because being not only a restaurant owner, but being a business owner on any business, it requires to be there. It doesn't matter how successful it is, and it doesn't matter how big or small. You always have to be there. If something happened, you have to be there. So it definitely prepared me to make sure that that when you own a business, you actually have to be there. Like even if you have to be texting the whole day, watching the cameras, watching that everything is fine, it is having your own business is definitely make sure and working 24/7. But it has many perks. So I definitely encourage everyone to be prepared for working many hours, but then having many perks, knowing a lot of people, then a lot of customers that are gonna be your friends and your family now. So it definitely prepares you working those long hours for the new venture of owning a business.
So so now you're working the 3 jobs, you're barely getting sleep, sometimes sleeping and eating in your car. What led you to your passion of food, cooking, and then ultimately of all the small businesses you could have gone into, or different paths you could have gone into, what led you kind of into the restaurant culinary side of things?
Well, everything started in Mexico. When I was about 12 years old, I started selling candies and chicharrones and fruit on my little plates outside my house, because one of my uncles gave me 2 boxes of fruit, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this fruit? There were mangoes, oranges, cucumbers, and in Mexico you buy that on the street outside of a house. So I was like, I'm gonna start selling this outside. I remember we had a small table that I put outside the house, and after school I started selling it, and then I started investing the money and buying another candies, more fruit, and that was my first business actually. And then after that, I went to the tianguis, the flea market, and I started selling Mexican food. All this it was my family's puesto, my family's business, and then they always give me a space to sell whatever I was selling. And selling, it's always been on my family, so it was normal for us. I was selling flowers at one point. I was everything. I think when you have that on your blood, you're able to sell everything, and it was fun. It was fun, and food was always there. Then I started selling Mexican dinner outside my grandma's house. There was tacos, pozole, and many more Mexican dishes, and it was there. Like food was always there. So then when I switched from the factory to the restaurant, it was like when everything comes back, and I'm like, this is what I am always like. I always like food and talking to people and meeting people. And a restaurant was my first idea, because that's like, I know how to cook food, I know how to treat customers. And then at the restaurant, I learned a lot from the restaurant. I learned that there are many good places that you can get good food, but then you have to work on the service. You have to work on doing something different on your building, on your community, on your block, and everything. So I was like, restaurant is, and I didn't think about anything else. I was like, it has to be a restaurant. And we started on 26th Street. And as many people start a business, we didn't make it. So we are, but it was a restaurant, our first business.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let me just step back for a second. For our viewers and listeners, can you just tell us what part of Mexico your family's from, or where you came from in Mexico? And then the second part of that question is, did you guys come right up to Chicago, or did you stop somewhere along the way in another city before coming to Chicago?
I'm from Guadalajara, Jalisco. It is the third biggest city on Mexico, and we came right to Chicago. So we got welcomed with a lot of snow, and I didn't know there can be so much snow in one city, and it was hard. It was hard with no car, with no English, with no knowledge of what is to be on a city this winter bipolar. Sometimes it can be nice weather, and 30 minutes later it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was hard. I think Chicago, it's my well, I don't think Chicago, it's my home. I'm always been in Chicago, and I love it. I mean, I love the weather now. Now I'm just in love with the city again so much.
No, wait, are you saying you love the weather like today because it's the first day of summer? Yesterday was the first day of summer. Or are you saying you like our four seasons?
Yeah, I like the well, I feel like we only have two. Like we have all the winter, and then a little bit of a summer. But now I enjoy. I mean, after 20 years, it is. I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy a day like this. It's actually our first or second nice day.
So what's the significance behind the name La Cathedral Cafe and Restaurants?
Well, the name La Cathedral and the logo is from the city where I'm from. La Cathedral, the church. It's very significant, very popular for us. It's a huge cathedral, and I'm a Catholic, and I'm always my family always took me there every Sunday. So it became part of my childhood. And this building, it looks like a church, and we work with the name and with the logo from La Cathedral where I'm from. And the decoration, it is all religious items that most of them now are gifts from our customers. And that really, that makes us really, really happy, because when they're traveling, when they find something, when they go to their home and see they have something that they can give to us, and they come to the restaurant and they see it on the walls, they see it somewhere, they know that this is part of them. So now the restaurant, and it is like a community
Center?
decoration theme, because they have a lot of religious decoration that is gift from and people that travel all over the world and bring something from Rome, from Greece, and everything is on display. So you guys have to visit and see everything that we have. And then and it goes with the name, like Cathedral Cafe. We are like a big church.
Okay, that's great. Let's step back just for a second. So when you mentioned when you decided you're first going to get into restaurants, culinary, I believe you said your first restaurant actually failed. Can you go into a little bit more detail for that? just to let life lessons, right? In order to be
Yes.
successful, sometimes you have to have a little bit of a setback.
Yes, sometimes we some of business owners like myself, the thing is opening a business is gonna be just open the business and you'll be the boss. It's sometimes it's not how it works. So that's how I did it. I opened the business and I was like, I'm the boss. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna have employees for everything. And it didn't work. That's not how it works. Actually, you have to do the job. You have to be there. You have to cut, when you start, you have to cut employees so you can make some extra money for this and for that. So I didn't do things the right way. I didn't listen to people that they know how to do business, because sometimes we want to do it our own way. And that was my first mistake. And I learned a lot from that. So now when I fail in the business, it made me feel like I could do more and I didn't do it. So I went back to be the job that I loved. It was to be a server. So I went back to the restaurant, to the same restaurant, to be a server again for another year and save more money to start another business.
That's great. So when did you, how did you connect with your business partner to create the business model that now is working for you, and really for both of you? And tell us a little bit about that relationship between you and your business partner, and how you kind of divide. Maybe you don't divide and conquer. Maybe you guys do everything together, or maybe he's good at one thing, you're good at one thing. Kind of just tell us how that whole next chapter started for you.
Well, my next chapter started thinking about what I did wrong on my first business, and I talked to my partner, and we sat on a table and we started just writing what can be done better, what have we done in a different way. So we start creating all these ideas, like I should do this and not hire 2 more people. I should do this and that. And a partnership, a business partnership, it is a marriage. It's something that has to be very well planned to make it work. So we start working on all this difference between him and I, and like, okay, you're good at this, you're gonna stick on this. I'm good at this, I'm gonna do this. And it took a lot of time to do all the work, because it's not easy. Like in the marriage, this is the same thing. So we start like, okay, let's talk about this. You want green, but green doesn't go with this color. Let's talk about another color that goes right in the middle. And it was a long process, but then we make it work. We're like, I'm good in the kitchen, I'm staying on the kitchen. You're good with the customers, you're gonna serve the customers. And we always told on our new business, we were gonna be the ones doing the job. And that's how we did it. We started the business and we only hired 1 employee. And we were like, okay, I'm gonna stay on the kitchen, you stay up front. We're doing the cleaning, we're doing the prep, we're doing this, we're doing that. And that's how we make the marriage, the partnership work. Doing it, talking, having fights, because nothing is perfect. But after having the fight, it was a conversation. What this happened? Let's make it work. Because sometimes when we get angry, we do crazy things and we go out of our way. But this is you have to be smart. You have to think about that everything has to be done for the business. Sometimes not for personal reasons. And it works for us. Like when people ask me, it's like our friendship is one, our business partnership it's another one. But we combine it so we can make it work. And I advise everyone that's getting a partner for a business is like, know them well, because nothing is gonna be nothing is gonna be happy all the time. There's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna pop up on during the business adventure. So there's gonna be a lot of problems, and you have to be able to manage how you guys gonna make it work. But we always talk about it. We had a meeting. We had a meeting this morning. We had a call yesterday. Like, how's everything? How we're doing it? And it has been working. It has been working well. Like it says, nothing perfect, but we managed to always come out with a solution, an idea that work for the business and for both of us.
And how many years have you guys been partners, business partners?
12 years since we
Oh,
opened
wow.
the restaurant.
Okay. And do you have like a formal business relationship, like where you do like a morning call at 9 or 11, or is it just kind of rapid fire all day long? Oh my God, we have, something blew up in the kitchen, or you got to fix that while I go to the other restaurant to handle this.
We're talking the whole day since we opened. Like I go back to this is a marriage. Good morning. How are you? How's everything? How many employees didn't show up? Who's sick? Who's not sick? Who is covering? So it has to be communication the whole day, so we don't come up with any surprises. So we are communicating the whole day, during the whole week. Sometimes we plan a meeting if something is going out of control, but it's a communication 24/7 about everything that is happening on the business and personal life too, because that's it's gonna interfere on the business somehow. So we are communicating 24/7.
And that long-term relationship, the business relationship, that had to help you and the restaurants and your staffs during COVID, right? Which was a very bizarre thing when March 16th, the governor of 2020, I should say, the governor of Illinois said, we're going to close down the restaurants. We want to try to prevent the spread of the virus. And we thought we were closing down for 3 weeks, right? Not for months after months. So kind of just talk a little bit again about that business to business relationship with your partner and going through something just so extraordinary of COVID and ups and downs of it, really.
Yeah, it was a surprise for everyone. It was something new. We didn't know what was this. We were like, is this a kind of a movie? What's going on? How the whole city is gonna close for weeks? I mean, it was crazy for everyone. And at the beginning, we were scared because we have many families. They are expecting their check. They're expecting having food on their table the next day. We were scared of all this, and we had a meeting. We talked about it, and we were like, you know what? I mean, we're family. How are we gonna work this out for all of us? So we had a meeting with all the employees, and we were like, okay, guys, who wants to take the 3 weeks off, and who wants to stay working on? It was only a to-go kind of thing. We were closing down for customer dining, but it was still open for to-go. We were like, okay, who's staying? We give them the option to decide. Only one, it was like, I'll take 3 weeks. And the rest were like, we can't. I mean, we have bills. What are we doing? So we were like, okay, I mean, I guess our savings are going to make this work. And that's when we know that having a good community really works, because the next day, the community, our customers, our friends show us that we were gonna go through the pandemic. And I want to cry because it really makes me really happy about the work we're doing, because we didn't have to lay off any of the employees. We were working hard to give them our best to the customers that were picking up their food. We were doing deliveries. We were doing it was a different system, but we get through the pandemic, and then we opened the patio. We started serving on the patio. It was something new for everyone, but we didn't make it. It was thanks to the community and the friends and our team as well, that they stayed to work with us, and we make it happen. And now we think about the past, and we were like, oh my God, how we were serving food on the cold in the patio, how we were doing this. It was different, but it was, it's part of our story and the things we talk about till this day.
Yeah, and now in the post, economic recovery, post pandemic, I hear from so many small business owners, particularly those in the restaurant industry, that really are having like supply chain logistical concerns, right? Like they can't get certain spices for their food, or they can't get, or the price of eggs has gone astronomical, and So you have that, just buying the product to make your wonderful cuisine. And at the same time, while that's going on, many restaurateurs and small businesses and even large institutions like government are still having a hard time finding employees, believe it or not. The nation does have a very low unemployment rate, which makes it more difficult and a lot more competitive when you're, out looking for help. So kind of talk to us a little bit about the post-pandemic for you in the restaurants.
Yeah, I think it changed, and I think it is changing, and it changed for the better as well. So we as a business owners, we know that we have to do more for our team, and this is teaching us that we have to do better. And it is getting difficult for all of us, and it's getting challenging because now we have to do better things to keep our team. We have to offer better work ethics. We have to do a lot of different things that we were not doing right before. So it has been hard. It has been hard. We have to invest more in our team, in our people, so they can stay longer with us. And it's been hard. I know a lot of my friends that own businesses, they've been having a hard time keeping up their team. And we haven't had that much problem because our team has been with us for a very, very long time. But our challenge is how we're doing better for them. Because they're actually the ones doing the whole thing. They're running the house here. So that we have to make everything better. And the change, it has to start from the top, and we have to do better things to keep our employees happy, and we're all happy, and we keep the customers happy. And the food change, and it was challenging. It was challenging because as a Mexican restaurant that we need a specific ingredients. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. We have to do things just to keep offering the same ingredients. We have to do trips to Texas to visit my family so they can, get me condensed milk because there was none in Chicago, but the Texas, there were a lot of them. They're like, go to the old stores, get it from everywhere. I need them. I need all of them. And it was expensive just to take the trip all the way to Texas and get all the boxes and come back. But we wanted to have our customers with the same experience that they have in drinking their coffee, getting the crepes, getting the, we at one point it was not dulce de leche or coffee. And we were running everywhere to just get it. And it was challenging, but then I think that helped us doing better as well, like being prepared. So it shake us a little bit or a lot. But now our business model is changed. Now we're doing it totally different, and now it is getting a little better. But we're still not finding many things. I still have to go to Texas in a few weeks, but it is now. I take it as a road trip, and we enjoy it, and we have to bring whatever is necessary to still open and having our customers happy.
That's good. How many, Chef? I might have forgot to ask. How many restaurants do you and your partner currently have right now?
We only have the La Cathedral Cafe in Chicago. We are about to open a few more these next months. We are very, very excited. So we are opening one on the first week of August, and by the end of the year, we are working and have 5 total in the city of Chicago.
Wow, that's very, very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With that expansion, talk to us. I'm going to change gears just a little bit. Talk to us about your original marketing strategy and how that strategy may have changed, and how important social media is, working with the food industry, and just getting that word out, particularly as you are expanding to additional restaurants.
Well, we started with flyers and banners. Uh, I was passing flyers. I was putting flyers on the car. So sometimes we see a flyer right on your windshield, and you're like, "Oh my God, what is it?" It was me probably 12 years ago. I was doing paper flyers. That is not working anymore. So we from 12 years ago, that Facebook was being a thing. It changed. It changed from now. Nothing that is printed is working anymore. I don't see many. I don't see many printing flyers or that stuff. No, I mean, I see some, but that now that we're doing everything on social media, so
Yeah.
it changed. It changed. Social media used to be cheaper on that day. Now we have to pay to be on everyone's Facebook, and now that is other social medias coming like TikTok and Instagram, and we have to be in all of them. But now it's Yelp and Google, and it changed a lot. It changed a lot, but we're trying to be in all of them, so all the generations can be know about can know about La Catedral Cafe. We are working in all the new platforms to be there. So it changed quite a lot from when we started. It was just the flyers and a word of mouth. That now we're doing all these social media posts, and you have to be funny, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. But it's different, and like I said, everything is they change. We have to accommodate to the new world. So we are working now with we have our website up to date. You can put your name on our wait list on the website. And we used to do pen and paper. So it is. It changed a lot. It changed a lot. So now we are if you look for La Catedral Cafe on Google, we're gonna be everywhere.
That's great. Do you have one person in the business that kind of keeps up with the social media? And my second part of that question is, I know this has never happened to you, but sometimes your customers can sometimes be mean critics, particularly on social media. And kind of how do you respond to that? And so it doesn't like kind of ruin your day, but also kind of address the issue if there was in fact an issue.
Yeah, social media, it's been hard. It's been hard for many of us as business owners that we are not perfect. We're trying our best, and we'll never be perfect. We know that many customers are not happy. And we tried our best. And at the beginning, it was hard. It was hard for me when Yelp and all. I mean, they've been there forever, but then I didn't know how that works. When I start reading all those bad reviews, it really got me. I mean, it's like, oh my God, I thought I was doing it right. I thought I was doing it differently, and it's hard. It's very sad that some people, they just create a profile just to do harm on a business, and it really does harm the business. So that's it is for business owners, small business owner, reading those reviews, it really gets you. And I think you have to be stronger. I do read all of them, and I learn a lot from them. I have it on my phone. Like if anyone writes a review, it pops up on my phone, and I'm always like, oh, and it makes me sometimes like I'm not doing it the way we should be doing it. And sometimes small things like people don't like the music, the people don't like the color of the walls, the people don't like my shirt, the food, the waiting time. It is so many things. Sometimes I read the reviews and I'm like, oh my God, I shouldn't wear that green shirt. They didn't like it. There's so many. And I always encourage my team to go and check the reviews, because sometimes we do have a monthly meeting with all the restaurant staff. We have a monthly meeting, and it's like, do you guys read the reviews? Because some of them are a page long, and they're like, oh my God, I know her, and I asked her many times. She said everything was fine. I don't know what happened. And I have a lot of reviews. They're like, I've been a customer for 10 years. And today the coffee was cold, 1 star. And I'm like, oh my God. And I mean, it really hurt. It really hurt. But it's part of the business. It's part of what we do.
Yeah.
Some of those reviews, we do have a lot of customers that send me a message and like, you know what, I went today, it was not this, and we fix it. And we work, I mean, we know that everyone it's free to post a review, send me a message, but it really helped us. And sometimes some of them, it really hurt the business, but it is what it is. It's part of the business. Just be strong, be ready to read the reviews. If you're not strong enough to read all the reviews, don't go there yet, because it will make you you're not gonna sleep at night if you get to all the reviews. I have short story. I have a friend that she never went to the reviews. She has been open on a Chicago restaurant for 30 years. And one time we have a meeting and I start reading the reviews to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, stop!" Because it is sometimes it goes crazy, and we have so many good ones, and it is a part of business.
Well, yeah, and for your friend who was in the restaurant business for 30 years, just imagine when they started, they were just hoping for, I'm going to age myself, but they were just hoping for, a review in the Chicago Tribune, the Chicago Sun-Times, the Chicago Daily News, which was our afternoon paper back in the day, the Reader, right? And, if they could just get that one review, but now with social media, it's just such rapid fire. And I do know what it's like for the restaurateurs who are trying to, kind of keep up to really kind of squash negativity. So I hope people always take time to give a great review. Like, I really had a great meal, had a great hot cup of coffee. Really appreciate that great cup of coffee. Not sure where the guy's wearing a green shirt, but besides that, it'll be okay. I'm just teasing. Okay, so we've got restaurants. You've got a great business partner. You got the marketing strategy going on. You're dealing with your critics. What in the world made you decide to publish a cookbook? Tell us a little bit about that story. And most importantly, tell us the name of your cookbook and just kind of give us the story of how you created a cookbook. And I think you told me before you're actually now working on a second one. So take it away, my friend. The man who never sleeps.
Well, everything started when I visited Guadalajara, the city where I'm from, and I started looking for a book with all the recipes from the state where I'm from, because we have many dishes that are just from the city of Guadalajara. We have a few desserts, a few drinks that you can now you can get it in another state, but it's from Guadalajara. So I didn't find any book with all those recipes. And I went to a lot of bookstores and they were like, yeah, there is one, but it's no longer for sale, or you can just Google for recipes and all that. So I was like, I have to do a book with all the recipes from Guadalajara. And one of my good friends was like, yeah, I can introduce you with someone from the city, so you guys can work together. And it works perfectly. I published my first book, Con Sabor a Guadalajara. And it was amazing because I have to try so much food. I have to learn a lot from the street vendors. It took us more than a year because we actually went to the street vendors to learn how everything was made. There is a particular drink from the city that I'm from, Tejuino, that it was just amazing the way they work. And we have we're working on the other book that it probably is gonna be ready by the end of the year, that it has part of my story and a few more recipes. But with all these restaurants, it's crazy to finish it. But I'm working on it. And all those recipes were, it was a dream of mine, and it was a dream of mine doing it in the city where I'm from, and to share it with the city of Chicago. That it's my home.
Would you say this cookbook is introductory, or is it more for our more experienced chefs and cooks?
No, it is for everyone. It is very, all the recipes are very easy, but we have a secret on each recipe. That's why when you go on YouTube and you're finding something, it doesn't taste the same, or it doesn't come out the way it is because we're doing it in a different way, in a certain way that our grandma used to do it. And that's why I went to the street vendors, because I tried it many times and it didn't taste the same. And it's like something is missing. So I went to the street vendors and they're like, can you teach me how to do it? And
Wow.
many of them say no, because you were stealing a recipe from generations. And a lot of them, they were like, yeah, we're happy to show you. And we still have a lot of videos that we haven't posted on my social media to show people how they're actually doing it. That we have an idea that is done another way, and it's totally in a different way that it's done. That's why our street vendors have a delicious food, because it's come from generations, and those secret recipes that they have saved it on probably on a ball that the grandma was doing it. We have that book, and with the other one, it's coming pretty soon.
Now, Chef, not to put any more pressure on you, but have you ever thought about a food truck? So you can get around the city in a food truck. I'm just throwing it out there.
I would love it. I would love it. A food truck. I would love to have a food truck and actually doing it myself, so we can visit all the neighborhoods and all downtown area. That I was in downtown this past weekend, and I always feel like tourist when I go to downtown, because it is such an amazing city. And I'm like, oh my God. And I saw those food trucks, and I actually, one of my a guy who was working with us for years opened just a food truck, and I went to the city to try his food. That is amazing. And I was like, how should I do a food truck too? But actually, two guys that used to work here, they own a food truck, and they're working on the city.
That's great.
And they're doing really good. They're doing great. They're introducing tacos to many nationalities, and it is good. I mean, they're doing it. They're doing great, and probably a food truck. It will be on my. It is on my list. I just don't. I need to have a little more savings and a little more time to have a food truck, but it's definitely on my list.
That's great. So changing gears, before you go out and buy that food truck, let's talk about capital. And particularly for our viewers and listeners today that are trying to seek capital to start their business. And just before our keynote address, when we hop back on, we hosted the Paths to Finance Your Business webinar, which was really about how to secure capital. Just kind of tell us some of your financial obstacles along the way. You've been so gracious to really be open and honest about starting your business, and kind of some of those lessons you've learned, and what advice you can offer someone who is potentially having issues with getting a loan to open up their first business.
Well, this is a hard topic, and I think is the hardest one at all, because it's the money that it starts everything. Well, at the beginning, when we started the business, all the savings were gone. All the savings were gone, and all my credit cards were gone, and my credit disappeared. So everything starts with your credit. Everything starts with your credit, and I'm always tell people or my friends ask me, okay, what should we do first? I'm like, working your credit. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need your credit. You're gonna need your taxes. You're gonna need everything. So make sure that all that it's perfect, because that's gonna help you having a successful business. And it actually been working for the two guys that I talk about, that they own a food truck. We're still having conversations and textings once in a while. And when they were having a dream to open a food truck, they were like, okay, so what should we do? And I was like, get your credit right. And they did. And now it's like, oh yeah, because we can get this, we can get that. And of course, getting the city offers a lot of help. The Chamber of Commerce of their communities, organizations that do grants and all that. But your credit is gonna be hand to hand from the rest. Open a business, it's hard, and getting loans is even harder, because it is. It is a hard topic, and it's a different story for each one. Sometimes people don't have credit, but a lot of organizations do help. The city offers grants and helps that can go with each story. But if I can say on my end, on my story, it definitely helped me a lot to fix my credit and reach out to the Chamber of Commerce and reach out to organizations that they were doing loans for new businesses. because the bank usually asks you to be so many years in business with all this experience and with all this money on the bank. Sometimes it's like, okay, wait a minute, I'm just starting the business. How I'm gonna do this? So there are many organizations that work with the city. It really helped me. I don't remember the name. It's one organization that helped me on the beginning with a business loan. It was a small business loan, but then opened my doors to get a bigger loans. It is organization from the city of Chicago, but I don't have the name right now. But I will share it on my social media. I'm actually opening a new restaurant, and I'm gonna share all the road to open the business and how long it will take.
Okay, that's good. One thing we forgot, you might as well promote your two former colleagues. What's the name of their food truck?
The food truck, the name is Delicias, La Michoacana Delicias. So it is. I'll type it on the chat so people can see it. And he actually just opened on the north beach. They open a little. Their trucks and their little stands there. He's selling Mexican burgers and hot dogs there. So he's Las Delicias. They call it Delicias, and the other one is La Michoacana Delicias. It's really good, guys. You should try it.
Yeah, put that in the chat. If our viewers are interested, my department, Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, we do host a food truck fest every Friday in Daily Plaza from 10 to 2. Sorry about that. 11 to 3. I'm looking at my producer here. From 11 to 3 at Daily Plaza every Friday into October. And for more information about that, go to chicago.gov/food truck fest. And also on our website, for those interested in opening up a food truck, we have all of the information at chicago.gov/BACP. We always have our business consultants in the Small Business Center who are always willing to assist, be it a food truck or even any kind of small business or restaurant. So thank you for that. I always appreciate business owners who really kind of are mentors for other folks and kind of help them get their foot into their own kind of business, because that's really what makes Chicago successful, is allowing other small businesses to open. Okay, so I think we are running a little bit out of time. Can I ask you one question? It has nothing to do with nothing, but what do you do when you're not running a business, not writing a cookbook, not looking to shop for a new food truck? Kidding. What do you do to relax?
Oh, well, first, I'm always looking for new ideas for the businesses that never stop. I'm always watching documentaries on Netflix related to food, related to buildings, related to all the new ideas that can help us getting the business getting a business that is gonna fit for the new times. And I read books, but now watching TV when I'm home it really relaxes me, and it really makes me happy seeing all these new businesses and all these new. It's new for me seeing so many food things happening, like the food trucks, and now it's a big trend, and a lot of people are doing different things, and it really makes me happy that all this is coming. So I always watch those documentaries on Netflix and the stories there for the people, how they started, and some people they are starting their business. It's really what I do when I'm home. So I always need the Wi-Fi at home so I can watch the TV.
Well, I really appreciate your time. It's really getting great to get to know you better, and for our viewers and audience. Why don't you give us a plug as to where they can find your restaurant, Little Village, the address, and also how they can find you on social media.
Well, the restaurant is on 2500 South Christiana on Little Village. You guys can find your restaurant on La Catedral Cafe on all the platforms on social media, and they can find me as a Chef Ambrosio on Instagram, Facebook. If you guys have any questions, I'm always available on Instagram, Chef Ambrosio. I'm always happy to see people are doing their own business. My family grew up on a flea market, so we all sell the same thing, and we're all happy to have new businesses on the city. I think new businesses are helping for each other. So you guys can find us there. And the new restaurant is gonna be on 1407 South Washtenaw and Ogden. We're gonna be there very soon.
Okay, that's great. Congratulations on that as well. Chef, is everything all right in the kitchen? Can you stay a little longer? We may have a few questions in the chat.
Yes, of course.
All right, Stella, I'm going to bring it back to you. Do we have anything?
Yes, we have a few questions. We have time for like 2 or 3 questions.
Thank
But
you.
before I begin, Chef, that food truck, is it a pink truck, like a pink and orange truck that you were talking about that your friend has?
Yes.
They're in the food truck fest. They're scheduled Friday, tomorrow. They're scheduled to participate tomorrow.
Good
Okay.
steam energy.
Oh,
That's
yeah, they're I don't remember the street, but they're orange, I think orange and yellow or something like that. But it's really good.
Yeah, they're scheduled to participate tomorrow.
All right,
Perfect.
come on down to the Daily Plaza. We sold out last week, so come down early.
Yep. So our first question, when did you realize that you were ready to expand?
When I realized that I was ready to expand, when we were when I realized that we were ready to expand is when we have this restaurant ready to be running without me, that I can go and open another one. That's what I don't think it's about having a lot of customers. It's about having the place running without you being there the whole time. So I can go check on the other one and come back to this one, and everything is gonna be working perfectly fine. I have a great team, and I always say this restaurant is what it is thanks to my team. So I think you need to have a good team and that's when I realized that I was ready to open the other one. When I knew that I have a good team on position to open the next one.
Okay, next question. Let's see. What do you recommend for someone interested in going to culinary school?
Good question.
I mean, you have to start cooking at home. If you're not doing it at home, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, start doing it. That way you will know. Start doing it and start washing the dishes and start being a chef at home, and then you know you're ready to start culinary school. Because when I was in culinary school, some of all my friends there, they never cook at home, and when I started doing it at school, they were like, "Oh my God, this is not what I was looking for." So start doing it at home, start practicing, and then you're ready to go to school, because it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be, and school is nothing compared to the real life. I mean, it is crazy, the restaurant industry. Being in a kitchen is a lot of pressure. So tell your mom and your brothers and your sisters to start criticizing. They're gonna be your first critics, and you have to do the food on time. So I think culinary is great. You just have to make sure that you are ready for all that comes with it.
And one more question. How has the supply chain issues affected your business?
Affected on pricing wise now is definitely the customers that are getting more affected, because we were buying, for example, a cup like this, we were buying it for 15 cents. Now we're paying up to 75 cents for a cup, just for the cup. So it really affects the whole chain, and it is being bad with everything, with the eggs, with the meat, with everything. So it is affecting on prices, and it is affecting on it is a change, so it's affecting everything. We're trying to look for another ways, but sometimes it's the only way we're going. So it's affecting on price, and then unfortunately the customer it's being affected on the pricing as well.
And I think we have time for one more. In regards of education, knowledge, and networking, where do you go for support?
Well, on my case, I always reach to the Chamber of Commerce. I did it since we started my first business. Don't be afraid to reach to all of the chamber of organizations. They always have, they've been helping businesses for years. So they really know how to help you find the right answer, the right way for your business. I always listen to other business owners. I always reach to people that they've been in business for years, and I always try to educate myself on how to do better for the business, for the community, for my team, and it's been working. And like I said, Chamber of Commerce is usually everywhere. Sometimes they change the name to another entity, but it's always a chamber everywhere. And they have a lot of resources from the city to help the community. So I will reach out first to the Chamber of Commerce to help. And they always have networking events that you can meet other business owners. They always have education meetings with people that have been on the business forever. So I think the chamber will be even just getting to the email blast so you can know what's happening. I think that will be my first recommendation.
All right, that's all of our questions. And can you remind us again of how we can locate you on social media and at your physical restaurant?
Okay, social media, La Catedral Café and Chef Ambrosio. And we are located on 2500 South Christiana in Chicago. If you guys are visiting, please visit our website, lacatedralcafe.com, so you can jump on our wait list. That it will be easier, so you don't have to wait outside, because the wait, it's always a little wait. But if you jump on the wait list, when you got here, you're gonna have your table almost ready.
Steph, what's a little wait? What's a typical little wait?
I don't want to scare anyone, just a little. But Sundays it's a little wait up to 2-3 hours. But it is a little wait. But if you jump on the wait list, it's gonna give you time to get ready, take a shower, go to the church, and when you're ready, you're gonna have your table waiting for you guys. It's worth the wait. Visit us, go to our website, stop by for a coffee, or visit our new location that is gonna be ready soon. We have another 3 locations almost ready. Follow us on social media so you guys can visit all the locations. And I'm always in any of them, so you can always have a chat about business.
Chef, thank you so much. This has been really just a great conversation. I think everyone just following the chat, I can see a lot of people just really appreciate it, just your honesty, and what a beautiful story you've told from your early childhood days in Mexico and your venture into Chicago to being a very successful entrepreneur. So I just want to thank you, and I look forward to our continued partnership as you continue to give me some guidance for the departments. So I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Mayor. It was a pleasure, and I thank you all of you guys that are connected. And I'm so excited for the new businesses and for the new person that is going to be here next year, sharing their story. I'm so excited for this. Thank you for having me.
Have a great day. Stella, I'm back to you.
Thank you, Chef Gonzalez, and thank you, Commissioner Meyer. And thank you to all of our attendees for joining us today. As a reminder, by joining this remote expo, you will receive the BACP resource guide, which features information and resources to start and grow your business. The guide will be emailed to you within a few days. We look forward to staying connected with you throughout our social media pages, webinars, and upcoming expo. To learn more about our upcoming expo, please visit chicago.gov/biz expo for updates, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.